for a very long
Well,
time.
actually, the first time they called me about Philips Hue being launched in the Philippines, I said, oh, finally, because I've been buying a lot of Philips Hue bulbs during my trips abroad. The first one I bought May 2015 in Singapore, and I've been using Philips Hue since then. It's 4 years. So finally, be able to, buy it locally.
No, but before I want to get to my next question, but I'll get to Jagan in a second. But this is my question: why do you think people should switch to a smarter lighting solution, especially nowadays where technology is constantly advancing? So I'll start off first with you, Steph. How about with you first? Let me get to Jagan eventually.
Why smarter? I mean, we want things more efficient nowadays. It's as easy as that. I'm a working mom. The last thing I want to worry about is having to fix my home before I host a dinner. Having that control, that creative control, just at my fingertips is perfect for my lifestyle.
Now, Jagan, we heard from, of course, our consumers. I want to hear it from your end because you really provide the needs of everybody. That's why you came up with this, because technology is constantly advancing. So why do you think we should be switching to a smarter lighting solution?
I think the simplest answer I can give to you is try it and you'll know why. But on a more serious note, I think it's when you, in today's busy world and busy lifestyle, filled with stress and what have you at work, when you get back home, home needs to be a sanctuary. And the easiest way to switch your home from a house and a building to a sanctuary is with lighting. And to put that in your fingertips in an intuitive, easy to access way is what the Hue does. Therefore, that's the solution to make your home into a sanctuary. And of course, I could go on with a lot of other applications of how and why you could use the Hue at home. But I'll save that for another time. Thank you.
Has anybody ever told you you're very quotable? I like the way you say these things. I'd be quoting you right now if I had a pen and pad with me. But all joking aside, you touched on something that a lot of us are after nowadays, which is convenience. So I want to get to you, Will, because your lifestyle is very on the go. And like you said, you're very active with all your vlogs now. How has Philips Hue made your life more convenient?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the hustle bustle type of thing, convenience is the most. That's the biggest commodity that I'm always looking for. I'm always looking at, at the same time, have everything be convenient. But for me, I mean, just going back into the mood and everything, one thing it really helps me in is sleep. I watch so many better, I guess, self-help type videos, and I've been watching like how to get more sleep and here and there because with time, none of us get enough sleep. Let's be real. And one of the things that I've read about is your body produces melatonin based on the type of, based on light, you know what it is. So now when I wake up, I like to have the sunset type, and then more importantly, when you're going to sleep, you don't want those just super bright, obnoxious lights like the shining in my face right now. you want something really, you want to you want to, I guess, emulate the type of the sunset or just something really dim, and it calms you, and it's like.
Actually, I said it earlier before that once you use Philips Hue or colored lighting in general, you will not look at fluorescent light the same way ever again.
Yeah, no, and I was wondering the same thing. It's like, why would you get this, or why do you need it? That's really the truth, the simple truth. Like, once you use it, you will understand why. Wow. You're just like, wow.
And there's no going back. I'm assuming there's no going back, right?
Philips Hue na Papa Wow. There's no going back.
You didn't realize this is going to be online in a matter of minutes, so yeah, everybody tag Will. But is it safe to say, Will, that that's your favorite aspect about Philips Hue, or are there more things you love about it, or what's
Probably
your favorite?
The Tukes effect, Yeah, just being able to go green, purple, red, or it's so compatible and easy. Even though I'm a technology type person because everything, I make videos and I show all this stuff. I wasn't born a techie. I struggle a lot when it comes to technology type stuff. But so when I first saw about this whole thing, I was like, I called my manager, Jacko, I need help, I'm gonna need help on all this stuff. but it's really easy. You literally download the app, and then it's there. Like a 10-year-old child can figure it out, and if I can figure it out, a 2-year-old can figure it out. But then again, you know what? I've seen 2-year-olds on iPads do things that I can't even do. But no, it's super simple, and I think that's something that's so important in this day and age, because we're all afraid sometimes to take on something that's complicated. Simple, compatible with Hey Google, Alexa, and my girlfriend has an Alexa, I have a Hey Google, it doesn't matter, you can connect it with anything.
I know you recently got involved with Philips Hue, but I want to move over here to Abe, because I know, Abe, you've been a massive fan for a long time.
Well, I discovered this because I went to the Philips headquarters in the Netherlands, and I think that was 2014. So I tried out, I bought my first Hue kit, like on the way back in Singapore. It's actually all about automation. If you use Alexa, if you use Google Home at home, it's such a convenience. Jack earlier mentioned that the whole lighting system is a convenience thing. It talks about automation. So I have the motion sensor at home. When you come in at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. at night, the hallway lights up automatically with your favorite color. When you go to the CR, no more looking for the switch, because the light strips, I also bought the light strips. They turn on and off.
That's another thing, like when it's dark, yeah,
And
you're trying to
when
find
you're in the bathroom, the mood, the color mood is really will keep you longer in the bathroom.
That's something we have to do. I think we're all going to imagine. I know nobody here is going to admit it, but I bet all of you are going to try this at one point.
And of course, setting the mood is something very important to us. Very important to me. Like, I have a mood for when eating, I have a mood when I watch movies, I have a mood when I want to read a book. So all of these colors are actually pre-programmed in the app, and I use Google Home to just say, hey Google, I want to eat like a dining mood, and automatically get bright lights that's not too bright and conducive to brightness of food. Makes you eat a lot more.
No, I want to backtrack just a little bit, because like we mentioned earlier, you've been a big fan of Philips Hue for a number of years. Do you remember what made you make the switch to a smartphone?
It's about how my tour in the Philips headquarters was all about lighting helps the body, conditions the body, so that if you live in an environment where there's no natural light, Philips Hue can mimic like sunlight, sunset. It can even change the mood based on the colors of the lighting around you. And I had a problem. I started being a blogger for 15 years. So I had a problem sleeping. I used the Philips Hue to sleep faster. I was able to sleep faster because of the mood of the colors.
A lot of you guys are mentioning sleep. Well, I mean, you're the second one now. Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite aspect? Safe to say?
I no longer use any regular white bulbs in our home, in our studio. We only use white lights, colored lights. And we never, very seldom use white light. It's all colored because you can actually see really clearly, even just using the colored lights.
It's a part of being a creative too. All of us creatives, like I could be stuck in the editing cave for 24, 40, 60 hours depending on what I'm working on, and it can get dark in there literally. So you need to change it up. You can go purple, you can go blue, and set the mood.
Go ahead, yeah.
I'm actually a big fan of fitness and wellness, and as you said, aside from the sleep, light can also help energize. And so I'm looking forward to. I haven't had a chance to try it yet because it's very seldom I get quiet time at home with us two little girls. But I really want to try it out in the morning, do like a nice meditation or a yoga session on my own, and then it can energize and relax you and really make you start your day.
What color do you think? Because I'm thinking, what is like the Zen color?
It'll definitely be cooler and warmer. I mean, I'm quite classic. I'm not so you, but maybe on occasion. I'll do the classic white and warm. I'll go probably whiter, fresher tones of blues in the morning, and in the evening when I wanted to do a nice date night setup with my hubby, I'll go warmer.
Yeah.
Try to look prettier too. I don't like.
And then you have to mix it. Yeah, gotta mix it with Alexa, because then you can turn the music on with the light.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Will mentioned the Tux too, because
I like how we're calling it tux tux now, you know? This is your fault, Will, by
I
the
use it
way.
to impress a lot of people because there's actually a lot of third-party apps you can use with Philips Hue that can control the lights. It can mimic thunder and lightning. It can mimic Spotify and change the colors based on the mood of the song. So it actually is perfect for mood setting. And you can just control it via Google Home.
So, Jack, did you want to add something?
Actually, I just wanted to add, you asked me what's my favorite.
I was going to actually. I know you have a little bit of a bias, but I know you have a personal favorite.
No, it's not me in my professional capacity. It's me as a random consumer. I think the syncing with music is my favorite bit about the whole thing. It doesn't have to be the boom boom music. It can be tuk tuk music, or it can be whatever music you want it to be. The fact that there is lighting that can respond to the music in some manner and form is already a big thing. Now, that's one of the favorite features that I have about the Hue. The other thing, I mean, if I distill across what three of them have said, it's an interesting thing which in our professional world, it's a technical jargon we call circadian rhythm. That's basically how the bio clock, the body responds to the bio clock. So there's a certain effect on the body when you wake up to a natural sunrise, and there's a certain calming down that happens as you unwind your day to a sunset, and all of that in the natural world is sun dependent, light dependent, and that's what we can potentially mimic in our homes today. I mean, how often can you ever get back home in time for sunset? Unlikely, but you can get back home whenever you get back home and simulate a sunset with a glass of wine or whatever it is that you'd like to do by planning it like that, by programming it like that with a Hue. Or you can wake up, I mean, I don't have an alarm clock anymore. I don't wake up to noise anymore. I wake up to light every day. That's what I do. It starts off in a certain way and then it slowly brightens up, and it's the closest thing to sunrise that I can wake up to.
I think that's a great point because it's a very gentle approach. You know, I feel like we're constantly bombarded by stress every day, and it's very difficult to switch off once you get home. And you want to do that for yourself, for your families, or your loved ones, and I think setting the mood really helps you get into that state of mind.
I think Philips will officially be responsible for A, people wanting to work at home, and B, people not showing up to work because they're all going to want to stay home with Philips Hue. But I digress. We're going to talk about the home because we've been talking about homes here from sleep to music. I want to have a bit of a segue with you, Steph. What do you consider when you make a purchase for your home?
A home is a very personal space. So obviously aesthetics and quality is something I really look for. But aside from that, it's just making sure I buy something that really goes with the whole general look and vibe of my place, and something that's easy to use and functional. You know, I feel that we are, like I said earlier, constantly bombarded by stress. Aside from that, we're constantly bombarded by consumerism. And so because of that, I have to become a fierce editor on what I buy for the home. I just want to buy more thoughtful and smarter products.
You mentioned thoughtful and smarter products. How long did it take you to adjust to the Philips Hue? Because it sounds like you're very particular about what you put in your house.
So my kids took all of 5 minutes. And I have yet to explore it a little bit further to get my routines set, But very quickly, I think the ease of use is, as you said earlier, you just have to try it. It sounds a bit intimidating in the beginning, that it's techie, but you don't have to be techie to use this.
You're 2 years old. Yeah.
Officially 2 years old at least. Hey, for all we know, maybe younger. But What were the positive effects? Because I know there's more than you in your household. What were the positive effects that you saw with everyone in your
Oh
household?
my gosh, they all enjoyed it. It was something so fresh and fun, to explore. And all of us have our own mission on what we want to do with our own lighting.
I hope you don't fight about the control.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to block my husband from it after your suggestion earlier with the sports winning and the light showing. I can't tell him about that.
Well, this is going to be online in a few minutes.
But you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm really looking forward to hosting my first Christmas party and setting up pretty lighting, with a Christmas tree there, and it's just gonna set up such a festive mood for us.
And this is perfect timing too. I mean, all of this being launched now, in time for the season, in time for those who actually have more time to go home. Wouldn't you say, Jonathan? That's perfect timing of the year.
I would say so, and just a heads up for you if you're planning to have Christmas parties with 2-year-olds and kids who have gotten the hang of it. When I started having parties at home and I started having guests at home once we moved here, my kids at that time, 3 and 6, it was impossible to get them off from being the center of attention. They would grab my phone, my wife's phone, go to every other kid in the room. What color do you want? You want pink? I'll make it pink for you. I'll make it purple for you. We just had to humor them for a big part of the evening before we could get out of the evening. So
Thanks for the tip.
and that's not just going to be with the kids, it could be with the adults too. It's the first time they're seeing. Basically, it allows you to paint your world with light. And you can do that